STS, deprogrammed for a reason, because I had to get rid of that old programming that nearly took my life away. It's real life shit. That's why I'm here today. And yeah, we're back with Lady Crown, and we don't stay down, we stay up, and we don't chat pop, because it's real,
not real talk.
but it's another midweek catch-up.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for saving me. Oh,
That's
my
all right.
gosh. It's a beautiful day, you know.
Oh, sun is shining.
Sun is shining, baby.
I tell you. All praises to the Most High.
I'm a raw.
If you want to worship something, worship the sun. Gives
Trust
you
me.
life every day, even if you're not
Trust
seeing
me,
it.
if you're hiding from
or
the sun
feel it.
right now, I'm telling you, you're losing out big time, because that's our life force energy.
Absolutely.
Imagine if the sun, imagine if the plants and the trees didn't have the sun. Trust me, they won't grow.
Nothing would be here.
You know what I mean?
Nothing would exist on this planet within
At
about,
all.
I don't know, 3,
At all.
4 weeks. Everything would be dead.
And you know what? 2 shout outs right now. Shout outs to Captain Kirby out there.
Salute the General.
Up in Jamaica.
Eating those mangoes and
yeah, me fam. Man had
us.
9, you know, fam.
Imagine that. 9 Julie
was it the
mango.
black ones?
No, man.
Oh,
Julie
Julie.
mango.
Okay.
Him want to sit on and
Sweet
9.
him out, you know.
Hear what I'm saying? No.
Sweet him out.
Him say, nah, nasty up in teeth for 1 mango.
Yeah, because it gets stuck in your grooves, innit?
So
you
if you're going to eat the mango, might as well eat 9 one time.
Yeah,
Then you can
yeah,
sit on there
yeah,
and
yeah,
pick and all the rest.
Fair.
But nah, nasty up in teeth for 1 mango.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Captain Kirby out there. And shout outs to Mass T out there. Yo, that man there has really helped me on my journey, you know. Big ups to you, bro. And yeah, man. Blessings for, what was it? The Chocho?
Oh, yeah, the chocha plant.
Yeah, bro. Blessings for that, you know.
From his sister. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
So we
Trust
should
me,
have
man.
some chocha this year, which will be brilliant.
Yeah, man. You know, hang around with people that support your mental health. Trust me, it's so key, especially nowadays, because we're getting attacked on so many,
Oh my God.
so many different ways, and you got to be aware out here. Like I like to say, that man just there. Me, I'm aware. It's a blessing that my third eye is clear. And when you really get into the dimensional aspects of life, whoo, you'll be realizing what's really going on. Because trust me, people can be showing you hate in this reality, but in the spiritual realm, they're giving you love. This how mad it is out here. Trust me, you got to be aware out here, because remember this year, your core essence is energy. Trust me, not what you say. Because like I like to say, it's only 5%, fam.
Yeah.
Aye. Trust me, it's real life.
For real. This is the thing, is that most people don't, they just think of when they're being attacked, you know, it's somebody verbally abusing them or physically abusing them.
Frequency,
Yo,
man.
frequency, spiritual attacks. People can, listen, people can run their mouth and finger and curse on you. Trust me. Or get something that belongs to you and do all kind of juju with it. Them things are real.
So you need to protect your energy. You know what? Sage is a great tool because it cleanses the atmosphere around you.
Burn sage in your
Burn
house.
it. But trust me, we burn their negative vibrations, man. We're not dealing with that. We're raising our energy, tapping in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember you were saying to me earlier about zeolite.
Oh yes.
Trust me, people got to tap into zeolite. Shouts to Penny Kelly out there. She was the first one that we heard of the zeolite from. So big ups to you. And yeah, man, it strips the heavy metals out. And you were talking about nanoparticles, and I know what I mean. You know what I mean?
You know the nanoparticles that are in the Bang Bang Boogie?
In the Bang Bang Boogie.
Yeah. So if you know anybody
what I mean?
that's had the Bang Bang Boogie, and just tell them to get some zeolite and start taking that, because if it strips out heavy metals, then that's what those nanoparticulates are, heavy metals that's in your in your body. So yeah. There's always a means to anything that's out there. Anything that's adverse, there's something that's going to come to help you. You get what I'm saying? Because there has to be a balance. It's polarity. Do you know what I'm saying? It can't just be all wicked, because at the end of the day, a lot of that's down to your perception as well. Ah, man, them man did this, them man did that. The wicked, that's your perception. Do you know what I'm saying? Really? Because sometimes things are happening on this planet and you think, oh, so it's the worst thing ever. But sometimes these things have to happen in order for the cleansing process to take place, the cleansing room. Because enough man have to go into that cleansing room.
Shout out to K Reno.
Shout out K.
Trust me. Shout out to
enough man and woman need to go into that cleansing room. And I'm telling you, I'd say a good 90% come out.
You know what it is, because most of us have got heavy metals within our system and a lot of toxins. We need an intracellular cleanse, you know what I mean? Because it's internal. This is why I say all this yapping business, man. Like, realize that your internal self is the true governor. It is the true governor, because without your heart, without your lungs, you ain't, trust me, you ain't living. You ain't living. This is why I love to say your health is your true wealth. A lot of people don't put importance on that, man. always looking outside of themselves.
Take it for granted.
And taking it for granted, not
Yeah.
realizing, you know how many blessings you've got.
Mm.
Count your blessings, man.
Yeah.
Count your blessings, not your complaints. Because the more you complain, the more you make it more prevalent within your reality.
Oh yeah, well you bring it into
Trust
fruition
me.
through your
Because
complaining.
the power of your words, you're manifesting every time you speak. This is why I said on the thought patterns, I'm careful on what I say and do. Because it manifests. Trust me.
Yeah.
Real life, man. Big ups to all of you out there, though, man. It's a different energy today.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
beautiful, though.
Oh.
Because when you're in touch with nature, you're in your natural state.
100. 100.
Blessings.
Yeah, well, we've just come up and I've just gone round there to feed the chickens. You can hear them round there. I met them all up at night. But one of them seems to have met her demise, and she's just lying all by herself, quite still. So I think she's transitioned. But you know, that's life, isn't it? I'll have to get one of the chaps to come and move her for me, because I'm not used to, you know, doing things like that. So
blessings to that chicken
I'll
there,
ask,
man.
T when he comes up. I'll give him a ring, ask him to. Yes, Tone. So one of the chickens have gone, and it's not one of the, you know, the fighting bird ones. It's one of the other ones. So
that's probably why.
The grey ones. I'm not, but she didn't look ill. Yeah, but she didn't look ill at all. You know, sometimes you can tell when they're looking. You know, they isolate themselves, and because they might be sick, they might have some disease. Yeah, and so they just isolate themselves, or the others start pecking at them, and you think, oh my God, they're so cruel. But it's literally them. It's called the survival of the fittest. So they can't have you know, a chicken in the coop who's sick, because obviously if that sickness runs throughout the whole, then they're all dying. So they literally, but this one I was not expecting it. So yeah, R.I.P. to medical chicken. And whilst we're on that note, obviously there's no comparison, but I mean, most people have heard about there's two young boys who lost their lives yesterday in Ely in Cardiff. Tragic, really tragic, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the loved ones, you know what I mean, because they are loved ones, whether it's mother, father, brother, sister, auntie, uncle, they're loved ones, you know, who are now having to deal with the loss of two young lives. And from what I could gather, I mean, had the police not been in hot pursuit, like they were coming after murderers, rapists, robbers, you know, them kind of pursuits, then they possibly wouldn't have died. Yeah, they possibly would not have died, because they were hastily trying to get away, and they had a head-on collision with a bus. And when they drive these off-road bikes, because they're motorbikes, yeah, but they're like for off-road dirt track sort of things, they don't wear helmets, and so none of them had a helmet on. Maybe if they did, yet again, you know, they may well have survived that collision. But I think the book stops with the police. They have to use discernment. They have to think and weigh up the situation. Do we pursue these two young men on this motorbike at 6 o'clock in the evening, where there's, you know, people coming home from work and etc., etc.? You know, would it pose a danger to the surrounding area, public, whatever? They have to weigh up all those arguments in their mind before somebody says, you know, and they would get the okay from the sergeant or the whoever it was to say, yeah, you know, go after them. But they weren't bank robbers, rapists, or murderers. There were two young boys, and let's face it, you know, the things that's happened in the last 3 years have had lots of effects on people's mental health. And young boys will be young boys. It's another way for them to, you know, express themselves. You know, all the community centres are being shut down. All of the places where they could go to exercise their mind and the body, all those have been taken away. So sometimes young people get involved in things and do risky things, because that's part of growing up sometimes. You know, we used to climb trees without helmets. Now you get to see a kid climbing a tree, if you ever see one, they've got a helmet on. You know, so it's this nanny state that comes in. So I think obviously the knock-on effect, which is sad, but you know, people rioted because they realised what had happened. You know, at first the police said that when they arrived on the scene, you know, they were met with this tragic accident, but then there's CCTV footage of them actually at high speed pursuing these two boys. So I think there's going to be a lot to answer for, but nonetheless, the lives of two young men are no longer with us. So, you know, like I said, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and friends of these the boys, that you know, real tragic loss. Yeah, Mayut.
Yeah, I was discussing it earlier, isn't it? Like, when you weigh up the odds, why do it, innit?
Why
like,
do it? Why pursue them?
Because if you don't pursue them, yeah, they're getting back home, innit? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
There's no need for it, man.
Yeah, none whatsoever. You can just, if they can.
Like you said, they didn't commit a crime.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know, they might have been doing something that's not
wrong.
legal.
Yeah, that's
but guess what?
in there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But always they have, the police constables have discretionary powers, which means they look at a situation and say, oh, something, let me just, little rack on the knuckles. Not, chow man down on ground, bad up man, fling on handcuff and start digging through pockets. You know what I'm saying? They always have this discretion to think and weigh up a situation, because that's in their oath. But we all know that, if they're acting as police officers, then they are corporate entities. They're not constables who are peacekeeping officers. There's a big difference. Serve and protect. They always say that. You look at their logos, it says, proud to serve and protect. Well, number one, who you're serving. Yeah. Number one, who you're serving. And number two, who you're protecting. Those are the things that they need to fathom out. Once they've fathomed it out, maybe they might be able to do the job that they were paid to do. Because guess what? We need to have peacekeeping officers. Yes, there's a need for peacekeeping officers, because what do? They keep the peace, not cause the peace. They keep the peace, and we've got the absolute reverse, which is a shame. But all those things have to change, because, like I said, everything is changing. The world is changing. We need to take responsibilities for our own communities, police our own communities. The men work with the young men, the women work with the young women, because those are the things that we have to go backwards in order to come forward. Because trust me, enough things have gone out of people's head cups because of social media and all the rest of it. They're not doing the things that men and women, boys and girls are supposed to do. It's all messed up. There's no rites of passage. And if there's no rites of passage, then you are left to any demonic force out there that wants to take hold of you, be that drugs, alcohol, sex, you name it. It will grab you, because there's no structure there. You get what I'm saying?
We're creatures of habits, so you better tap into the right ones. Yeah. Otherwise it's going to send you down that dark path.
It already has, unfortunately.
For a lot of people.
It's for us to take it back,
take
bring
responsibility.
It back. We have to.
And, you know what I mean?
We
tap
really,
in.
Yeah,
tap
we really
in.
have to.
You know what? This is so random. I don't really tap into the worldly stuff, but it's on my thought patterns right now. Shout out to Texas, yeah? Because they stopped the people, trying to mutilate children and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
shout
absolutely.
out to Texas. Yeah. Texas is one of the freest states, and Brother K. Reno's from there, one of the freest states in the United States of America. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Texas, man, because they're charging, man, what, $70,000 for these mad surgeries. Check this out now. A 67% risk rate of
complications
going wrong. Yeah,
it's going to be.
So you got 67% risk of something going wrong.
Listen.
And you're gonna charge on $70,000 for it.
These people
that is mad.
These people,
you know what I mean? That's crazy.
Psychopaths. Any man or woman that would put a scalpel onto the body of a child, a young boy or young girl, in order to alter, because you cannot change nothing. You're going to, you're going to mutilate them. It's called mutilation. And for you to receive money for doing that and supporting those actions, let me tell you, there's nothing for you apart from the death sentence. It's mutilation of a minor. Now you've got these people out there that's talking about minor attracted individual. Let me tell you something.
Some mad labels.
You cannot give those labels and people start spouting out, because it's pure slackness you're dealing with. It's pedophilia. Stop calling it names like that to make it, it's okay because this 40-year-old man is attracted to a 5-year-old and that's okay. No, it's not. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we keep talking about, using that throat chakra and speaking your truth. Those who want to stay silent, well, guess what? That's up to you.
Silence is an answer.
But it speaks volumes, because your silence is your acquiescence to what's happening. You have to acknowledge the fact that that bloody statue outside BBC in London is done by a pedophile. It is. Simple as that. You have to acknowledge the fact that Jimmy Savile was the best friend with Charles. He's the known prolific pedophile. You have to speak these truths in order to make the changes that we need to have in this world. If we don't speak about it, then guess what? It continues and it goes on. And just think about the suffering and the pain that these young boys and girls are going through on a daily as I speak. Yeah, their blood's been extracted once it's been charged up so man can look younger. Adrenochrome. It has to be spoken about because that's how you raise the awareness and that's how you start to affect change. If we stay silent and carry on with our little lives, comfortable lives, yo, the problem doesn't go away, it gets worse. And let me tell you, this has been going on for centuries, but things have to come to an end, and we are the ones to make sure that that happens. Every boy or girl born into this world should be born free to enjoy life, not to be harvested like there's some cattle, because that's what's taking place in every country that you can call. Every country. We have to speak. It has to stop.
Oh, hey, I hear you, man. Trust me. I think you know what it is. Yeah, I think like I get where you're coming from, but there's so many perspectives of life in it. Like I like to say, you have to deal with self first before you start speaking out loud and that, because the fear blocks manifestation. So most people aren't going to speak out about things because they're already fearing about, they've already got their own issues. This is why I say becoming your greatest version. Yeah, becoming your greatest version is so key because it allows you to really expand your awareness and stop living in that fear-based mindset. Actually start speaking your truth. Because this is key about consciousness. Yeah, when you really become conscious, you speak what's on your every single second thought pattern, not speaking from a program that is distracting you away from the real, from what's really going on. You get me? So this is why there's a massive split right now, because people are seeing it now. They're seeing, oh, that one's conscious, that one definitely isn't, because they're going the other way. It's simple as that. You've got two choices right now, fear or love. And when you tapped into real consciousness, you tapped into this heart chakra, man, this love for self and other people as well, because that's where it really comes from. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they like to do this faking business, man, and it doesn't work, man. Trust me, in the end, it won't work for you, because trust me, the universe is looking at you, man. Trust me, because it's reading energy.
Absolutely.
This is why Nikola Tesla was way ahead of his time. Even though even he said he discovered, so he wasn't the first. He discovered the information because it came from the ancestors there. You know what I mean? Energy, vibration, and frequency. Like, a lot of people really need to tap into this, man, because your energy is controlling your whole reality, man. Your whole reality. Like, trust me, you need to really tap into that, man, because without it, you're going to be in a deficit. You're going to be in a big deficit without raising the energy. This is why I nearly say it on every video, my single videos, to raise people's energy and awareness and realize that you have a big part to play, because we're all pieces of the puzzle. I give it to you like that.
Yeah, Nashe. Absolutely.
So this is why I'm saying this is why I have a wide perspective of life, realizing that it's not just about you saying this about that and saying this about that. It's about having a part to play. It's about having a part to play, because not everybody's supposed to be not everyone's supposed to say what you're saying. You get where I'm coming from? Not everyone's supposed to be saying what I'm saying in terms of subject matter. We're all supposed to speak on different things according to our life experience, because that's what it really comes down to. Because if you look at all the master teachers, they all got a different message, but it aligns to truth, their truth. You know what I mean? So have a part to play. Don't be living with lies, speaking about bullcrap that doesn't matter, because as long as you're doing that, that reality is going to come back to you. The Maya, the Matrix, it's prevalent. It's my prevalent out there. But remember this: you can be the architect of the Matrix if you choose yourself. I'll leave it on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've all got choices, and like I said before, this is one of the most amazing times to be here, because you actually get to write your part in the script. You literally get to do that.
You can play which role you want to play.
Exactly, because their system is crumbling, has crumbled, and is coming to an end, and has ended. Trust me, this is just the death throes that we're going through right now. And yes, things will get somewhat more stickier, because that's what happens. It's called birthing pains, and there's going to be a lot more people that that transition for various reasons. But these things are going to happen. They regardless of what I say or do, they won't be prevented. They will happen. But like STS says, it's for every man and woman to stand up in their power. Have knowledge of self. because you know, if there's a trouble on an airplane and it's, you know, going down, then they always tell you to put your, like,
first.
you know, secure yourself first, put your mask on, and then you start to help people. You can't be running around the airplane, and when the time comes,
then you fell it.
you're fart.
Trust
You
me,
get me? So,
me.
you know, it's wonderful but being altruistic, you know what I mean? But guess what? You take care of yourself, and then you can do what you need to do for everybody else because you're secure. There's no point in you being unhinged and not quite there and you're running around trying to help, because that's craziness, you know? And sometimes I see these and people that I call them Bible bashers, out there knocking on doors and, you know, preaching the gospel, and their lives are screwed up so much more than you could possibly imagine.
Externalizing their power. Externalizing it.
Yeah, exactly. Because now they're going to be doing something worldly because it looks good when they go back to church on Saturday or Sunday. Oh yeah, I knocked on a few doors and had a cup of tea, and I delivered the Bible service or message from, you know, it makes them feel good. It's ego.
I was just about to say that. I said it's massaging the ego.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah,
like it's mad fun. Like they're massaging the ego to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bless them. But we love them all the same.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All you Bible bashers out there.
They're our people.
Absolutely.
Because we're all connected. Don't matter what religion you are. Don't matter what race you are. You know what I mean? All labels.
We're all one.
Consciousness.
We're all one. Part of this beautiful, beautiful planet that we were seeded on. Yes, there are different races on the planet. That's obvious. You know what I'm saying? But we're all one.
Planet, right?
Absolutely. Well, you know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about them. Right. Well, before I dip off, yeah, what I've been noticing lately is that there's lots of defibrillators that have been positioned all over the city. Some places, after they shut them bloody shop down, I don't know who's going shopping there, but you know, right in the middle where there used to be a phone box is a defibrillator. And I'm like, you know, gosh, I can't, you know, the only place you'd go and get one of those, it would be when they rushed into hospital, and, you know, or being in an ambulance, they'd have them in the ambulances to, you know, shock man back if you had a heart attack or whatever. Yeah, so these defibrillators are all over the place. So I went on the lovely government website, and yeah, all schools are going to be issued with a defibrillator. All schools. Now, this is the government. Aren't they wonderful? Because they're going to provide it for all schools, and those schools that can't afford it, don't worry, the government will make sure that you get one. Now, they've said that they're doing this on the back of a foundation that was set up by Mark King for his son Oliver King, who passed away 11 years ago. He had a heart attack. I think he was taking part in some activity at school and had a heart attack. So I don't know, there's some congenital heart disease there, hole in the heart. I'm not sure about you know, what problems he had, because evidently they were not aware of it. Now, since he transitioned, apparently they set up this foundation, and they've been lobbying governments and all the rest of it to have defibrillators put into schools. But they obviously met with a lot of resistance, because the likelihood of somebody in school having a heart attack was so rare that to put a defibrillator costing how much, I don't know, £4,000 or £5,000 a pop into every school, can you imagine the cost? So they were very reluctant to do it. But all of a sudden, they seem to have had a change of heart. And I have to ask myself, STS, why have they had a change of heart? These people have been campaigning to have one in schools since their son transitioned 11 years ago. And now, boom, government saying that they're going to put one in all the schools.
Say son?
His son.
Okay. His son.
Yeah,
Okay.
his son. His son. He was 11 years old when he transitioned from a heart attack in school.
Okay.
So I think it might have something to do with the fact that children are having, you know, heart issues, myocarditis, pericarditis, and they're having problems in school because that's where they spend most of the time. If you check it, they spend more time in school than they do at home with you as the mother and the father. But let's not go there. So I don't think that they are really supporting this foundation because of what happened to this man's son. I think more probably it's because of what's happening in schools as we speak. Because what do young people do when they're out in their breaks and whatever? They're up and down. The young youths are playing football, all sorts. Now, if they've had certain procedures, and you know what I'm talking about, then maybe there's a possibility that somebody could have some heart condition. And then if you have your teachers that are in there that were mandated to take certain procedures and something happens to them, maybe these people might need a defibrillator, because the sooner you can get the heart beating again, the better the survival rate. That's a fact. Yeah, the longer the brain is starved of oxygen, you know, the more you're likely to transition. And we know that from my brother and STS's uncle that passed away three years
Shout out to
ago,
Uncle
a
Ken
massive
out
heart
there.
attack.
Blessings.
So I can't call me a cynic, and maybe I am, but I truly believe that the reason for them doing this is because of what's happening in the schools, because of this medical intervention that a lot of young people have had and a lot of teachers have had. Time will tell, but I can't see why they'd spend so much money putting all these defibrillators into schools just in case, it might happen to, 1 in 100,000 at one point in some time in the next 10 years. No, they wouldn't do that. They're putting them there specifically for a reason, because they're realizing that these young people are having problems with their heart because of this medical intervention. So yeah, all I can say is do your research for yourself. You'll see what I'm talking about. Use old-fashioned telephone booths that we used to have, the red, the iconic red telephone boxes, and now defibrillators. Instead of it saying telephone, it says defibrillator across the top. So, and you'll see this dotted all over just have a look around your city and you'll see them. And your children, if you've got young boys and girls in school, ask them if they have one, because they probably will have. They need to, trust me. I've
Finished
done.
up, yeah?
I've done. You wrap up, fam.
Yeah. Shouts to everybody out there. Shouts to the galactic beings. Shouts to the divine souls. Shouts to the indigo children. Shouts to all the powerful warrior queens. Star seeds. All of you out there. You know what I mean? Because we're all powerful. You know, when we tap into here and express our power. You get me? Because we have got it. You know what I mean? We have got this power within us. As long as we keep on connecting, great changes coming. And it's already written anyway. Don't worry about it. Real life. Universe has always got our back.
Always.
Trust me. But yeah, it's a flip. No rehearsal, no script, no acting going on. And yeah, keep working on your mind, body and soul in order to achieve your goals, because we're there with you.
Spiritually.
You don't know, bro and sis. Stay bliss. STS and Lady Crown over and out. Peace and blessings.
Peace, my people.
Peace.
Have a strong day.